Welcome back to another episode of Mythlam, where we dig into the most unique beliefs out there. Today, we're digging into a topic that's sure to make you howl with disbelief. The notion that black dogs are the devil. Yes, you heard me right. Satan is now apparently a canine with a sleek, shiny coat. Now I know what you're thinking. Come on, surely this can't be serious. Oh, my friend, it is. But before we get to the black dog fashion police, let's take a step back and talk about dogs in Islam in general. You see, it's not just the color of their fur that's the problem. Sometimes just having a puppy in your home is apparently enough to stop angels from visiting. Don't believe me? According to a hadith reported by Imam Muslim, found in Riyadh al-Salihin, number 1686, in chapter 17, Book of the Prohibited Actions.
Jibril made a promise with the messenger of Allah to come at a definite hour. That hour came, but he did not visit him. There was a staff in the hand of the messenger of Allah. He threw it from his hand and said, "Never does Allah back out of his promise, nor do his messengers." Then he noticed a puppy under his bed and said, "O Aisha, when did this dog enter?" She said, "By Allah, I don't know." He then commanded that it should be turned out. No sooner than had they expelled it, Jibril came, and the messenger of Allah said to him, "You promised to visit me. I waited for you, but you did not come." Whereupon he said, "The dog kept me from coming." We do not enter a house in which there is a dog or a picture.
So, a tiny innocent puppy is literally blocking an angel from visiting the prophet? Oh wow! A creature that just wanted to cuddle became a spiritual roadblock. And here's the absolute gem. Sahih Muslim 1572 reports,
Allah's messenger ordered us to kill dogs, and we carried out this order so much so that we also killed the dog coming with a woman from the desert. Then Allah's apostle forbade their killing. He said, "It is your duty to kill the jet black dog having 2 spots on the eyes, for it is a devil."
yes, you heard that correctly. The jet black ones with 2 spots on the eyes. Satan apparently has a very specific dress code, and some poor dogs are executed because they didn't pass the heavenly fashion inspection. And did you notice? First, Muhammad says, "Kill all dogs." Then suddenly, I guess, he realized that some dogs are very useful. So he changed his mind and said, "Hold on, only this one type is dangerous." Incredible consistency, right? How can you believe this guy? Innocent animals' loyal companions are reduced to fur and eye pattern statistics, deciding life or death. And the impact is real. Dogs, especially black dogs, have been abused, abandoned, and killed across centuries because of such superstition. Meanwhile, humans are busy claiming moral high ground while literally demonizing creatures that can't even speak in their own defense. And speaking from experience, in Morocco when I was a kid, my mother adopted a dog, a German Shepherd named Onyx. He was loving, full of life, and loyal in every way. And then he was poisoned by some cruel monsters, just because he was a dog. It was my first real experience of losing a pet, and it hit me hard. So yes, these insane religious beliefs aren't just abstract ideas. They have real consequences for animals and for the humans who love them. If you think that was the worst of it, well, Islam has another official ruling. Dogs are filthy. According to Sahih Muslim,
When the dog licks the utensil, wash it 7 times and rub it with earth the 8th time.
yes, 7 times, and the 8 with earth, because the dog's tongue can turn your drinking cup into a chemical hazard. Seriously, your dog takes a sip and suddenly your utensil is radioactive. And wait, the Hadith literally says to scrub it with earth? That's dirt. That's not cleaning, folks. That's reintroducing every possible contaminant. Bacteria, fungi, microbes. After 7 washes, you basically ruined the cup all over again. Zero hygiene sense. Dog saliva does have bacteria, just like every other mammal on the planet. Cats, cows, camels, humans. Healthy people rarely get sick from casual contact with the dog's lick. And in fact, dog saliva also contains enzymes that can help fight bacteria. So why this extreme, ritualized fear? If you're really worried about contamination, then all animal saliva should be treated the same way. But no, only dogs get singled out for moral and spiritual contamination. That's superstition. And while dog saliva supposedly requires 7 washes plus dirt, Muslims also have hadiths recommending drinking camel urine for medicinal purposes. A tiny lick from a happy puppy is a spiritual disaster, but consuming camel urine, totally fine and even healing. This is Hadith 4035, found in Sunan An-Nasa'i.
Some Bedouin from Irana came to the Prophet of Allah and accepted Islam, but the climate of Al-Madinah did not suit them. Their skin turned yellow, and their bellies became swollen. The Prophet of Allah sent them to some milk camels of his and told them to drink their milk and urine until they recovered.
Did you know that your everyday cuddly loyal companion counts against your spiritual score? Here's another hadith for you.
The Messenger of Allah said, "He who keeps a dog will lose out of his good deeds equal to 1 karat every day, except one who keeps it for guarding the fields or the herd."
The second hadith says 2 qirats. And what is qirat? Qirat in theology is actually equal to 1 huge mountain. Keeping a golden retriever or a beagle? Congratulations! You're spiritually penalized daily. Only if your dog is useful for work, herding sheep, guarding crops, or hunting. Then it becomes allowed. So much for unconditional love, right? A few days ago, Kiswani tweeted, "Finally, New York City is coming to Islam. Dogs definitely have a place in society, just not as indoor pets. Like we've said all along, they are unclean." When people pushed back, suddenly it became, "Relax, it was just a joke." If your concern is sanitation, fine. Tell people to pick up after their dogs. But don't smuggle in Islamic impurity language and then pretend it was only about pooping. I personally don't see any satire in the original statement. What I see is taunting. I think people are smart enough to tell the difference between a sanitation complaint and a theological claim. In fact, this tactic can be used to provoke emotional reactions in non-Muslim communities, so that later anyone who reacts is dismissed as having a phobia. Let me tell you something. If the choice is between stepping around some dog poop in the snow or living in a society where dogs are poisoned, beaten, or killed because a belief system says they are spiritually unclean, I'll take the messy sidewalk. I'd rather wash my shoes of some poop than brainwash my mind by a dumb group. Dogs, black, brown, spotted, polka-dotted, are nothing short of miraculous. They calm the anxious, guide the blind, rescue people from disasters, detect cancer, sniff out bombs. And still, some groups believe they are carriers of Satan. Meanwhile, in the West, dogs are celebrated as heroes, as man's best friend, not man's best demon. Think about the cruelty this Islamic belief causes. Animals abandoned, abused, or killed for no reason other than being the wrong shade of fur. Disgusting. The real evil is not in the animal, but in the absurdity of the beliefs that teach otherwise. That's it for today's episode. Remember to treasure those who give love freely. Hug your dog today, and for a moment, let a piece of heaven wag its tail right into your heart.